thought I was done making videos today, but breaking news, the Eagles have signed their nickel corner.
We better turn. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? I hope everyone's enjoying their day today. And yeah, the Eagles worked out Bradley Roby and ended up signing him to a one-year deal. So Bradley Roby was almost regarded as one of the best nickels a while ago, and is older, is 31, 32 years old. He's an older cornerback, but usually when you sign guys like this, it's for depth purposes, and I don't know what the Eagles are going to do here with Bradley Roby. I remember it was like a week and a half ago, something like that. I know he worked out for the 49ers. I don't know what other teams he did work out for, but I guess he didn't sign. I had Bradley Roby off the list because I figured, he was going to sign somewhere else, and I figured that the Eagles maybe had no interest because I don't know what the Eagles think about the nickel spot in general with Josh Jobe being there. And obviously Josh Jobe, I don't think is going to be a consistent corner this year, and I've already said this. I know people in the comment section either agree with me or they don't on the situation at nickel since you lost Zach McPherson, you lost Avonte Maddox, so you're very thin at this spot, and I don't want to put Bradbury on the inside. This assures the fact that Bradbury will straight up play the number 2 corner, will not be flirting with moving to inside, which I just can't stand at this point. And Josh Jobe, I think, is a nice backup for us, but as a consistent, outside or consistent nickel corner for us right now, I just don't think he could pan out the whole entire year. Bringing Bradley Roby brings, could really play, he could play multiple positions as a hybrid type player, but his best position is playing at the nickel spot. And does this mean that he's starting this week? I have no idea, but this makes me feel a lot better that you have a veteran presence right now and a guy that wants to win. He obviously signing with the Eagles because he wants to win a Super Bowl this year. So this is what we're going to get out of players that want to sign to the best teams. The Eagles are one of 2 undefeated teams right now. And it's just funny that Bradley Roby, worked out for 2 undefeated teams as of right now and picked the Philadelphia Eagles to sign with. So I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this week. Bradley Roby is going to practice with the Eagles and kind of get him up to speed with the defense. And could we see a start with Bradley Roby at that position this week? Okay, so kind of nuts. He's played for the Texans, he's played for the Broncos, played for the Saints, and was released from the Saints recently. Older cornerback, so obviously we have to take his age into consideration, and can he still play at a high level? Can the Eagles pull something out of him? As a role-playing nickel corner with a good defense around it, it could work out. But, unfortunately, the way this defense is playing right now with this secondary when they're so off the ball all game is just kind of ridiculous, and that's the only thing I'm having issues with right now is this off the ball coverage. Desai not really having trust within his defense and not, too afraid to give up the big play, not taking chances at times. It's just giving easy chunk yards. And I think, signing Bradley Roby is great. I mean, like I said, this is just a rental for the year. But to see if he actually starts this week, I just have a feeling he's not going to, just because of the time. I mean, he still has some time to practice with the team for a few days and just see what happens, But, it's nice that they brought in somebody, keep Bradbury on the outside, and get this thing done. So I'm very excited about this. I feel more comfortable. And the Eagles, if the Eagles are signing a nickel corner right now, they know that, Josh Jobe ain't it. I mean, you're not doing, if Josh Jobe is playing at a high level, they wouldn't sign any depth right now. And they signed some depth, could potentially be a starter this week or next week. You never know. So you guys let me know what you think about Bradley Roby, which I think is a huge move for the Eagles. I'm sitting here like, man, I don't know why we're hearing about Chase Claypool. Why are we hearing about these offensive players? We need some defensive players. We need a hybrid player. We need somebody there. I say, you were down 2 safeties last week or the other, this past week, you were down 2 safeties. So, Terrell Edmonds isn't great. So you're going to get some reinforcements back there. But nickel has got to get fixed. And Bradley Roby, you have to sign in an older corner, an older player that can play the position well and kind of revive his career a little bit. And, as a role-playing nickel corner that could, that has great pieces around him, I think this is the perfect spot for him at the end of the day. Now, the Eagles did release Kyron Johnson. This is probably for Braden Mann, the punter, to be activated for the third and final time. I think it's the third time to the roster, most likely. Or I think a couple moves have to be made, most likely, because Bradley Roby is signed now. So I think one is you're going to have to keep Braden Mann on the active roster because he is the new punter for the Eagles. And, should be interesting. So I know they're going to be flip-flopping some guys around roster-wise. Now, lastly, well, at least not lastly, but Britton Covey has a concussion right now. I know the NFL is taking these concussion protocols really seriously. You guys notice that every time somebody gets concussion, they don't even get to play the next game. I think as the safety for the players, which kind of sucks, but I understand why they're doing it. So a lot of these players are probably already, if you get a concussion game day, if you get a concussion in a game, and I feel like the NFL has emphasized rules that they don't want players to play in the next game. When Boston Scott had the concussion, he didn't play in the next game. You know what I mean? So Britton Covey is probably going to be out this week. So you're going to be down a punt returner and a wide receiver, pretty much. I know he got some playing time in the slot, in the second half of the game this past week against Washington, but we know that, he's not a starting wide receiver or even great at blocking, or he's just a straight up punt returner, and that's it. So who takes his place at punt returner? It's going to be interesting. Is it going to be Zaccheaus? Is it going to be Greg Ward? I mean, those are the only two I could figure that are going to take his spot. Are they going to give Devin Allen a shot at that at punt returner? I don't know. But Covey will most likely be out this week, which really sucks because the past few weeks he's been really returning very, very well. I got to say, I tip my hat off. I made a video a couple weeks ago, or at least a week or 2 weeks ago, that, Britton Covey, it was 1 week, then it was 2 weeks, so he was, he's been playing really well, and, I have to eat my words on it. So I don't know. People might want Zaccheaus at punt returner, but at the same time, he's your slot, he's your inside receiver right now, and you don't really want to, make sure he doesn't get injury. And I don't know, maybe they go down the Greg Ward route, maybe. But this is only for one game, but we really need, we want to keep this thing going with returning, and hopefully we can have another returner that's going to produce in the game against the Rams this week. So interesting. Lastly, Jason Kelce. Now, Cam Jurgens is out for a few weeks. The Eagles got to be very careful here. The one thing that needs to not happen, okay, Kelce needs to stay healthy for the next few weeks, okay? We understand that he usually does, but you never know, okay? Because if Kelce does get hurt, I'm going to, knock on wood, if Kelce does get hurt, then the offensive line is going to be a big problem the next few weeks, and the Eagles can't afford to do that. If Kelce gets hurt on top of Jurgens being still out, okay, then you have to flip-flop somebody. Whether you're going to take Landon Dickerson and put him at center, then you're making another position a strong point, and then the original position is a weakness. Dickerson, I don't think would ever move to center. He was obviously, All-American, at Alabama as a center, but he hasn't played the position in a while, but probably be the most reliable at this point. And then you'd have to put someone else at left guard, and they would have to switch this one and switch that one. So you don't want to get into that situation with the offensive line. I know Julian Good-Jones and Brett Toth have had some snaps at center. Brett Toth had a couple snaps last year. He couldn't even snap the ball right. So I don't know who else other than Jurgens has played center, but this is something they really, have to figure out. If the time comes, like I said, Kelce needs to stay healthy for the next few weeks because, with Cam being out, this cannot happen. Otherwise, a lot of switches are going to have to be made. So I wonder with this, with the roster right now, since they released Kyron Johnson, if they're going to make some other moves, maybe bring up a practice squad guy, or I don't know, as somebody that can snap the ball. I have no idea. I mean, this is nothing, that we need to really worry about too much. But, you never know in this league what happens every single week. And I think Kelce, with Cam Jurgens out, Kelce definitely needs to stay healthy. Otherwise, they're going to have to, this offensive line is going to change dramatically, if he's going to be out a game or two or has to, so you don't want that to happen. And other than that, that's pretty much it. I think the Eagles, are definitely seeing the weaknesses to this defense. And obviously, nickel corner has been the #1 problem. Besides other things with Sean Desai in this defense, but I think one position is definitely it. You should get some reinforcements back at safety with Justin Evans and obviously Sidney Brown coming back, so that is huge this week. And the concussion protocol is very serious this year. You're not on concussion protocol for 4 days. You come back and you're active for the next game. I think if you get a concussion in a game, you're automatically out for the next week, which really sucks. They're looking out for the players. I totally get it. But it's just for safety reasons, and that's it. So you're going to be without, you're going to be without Britton Covey this week, and they got to figure out a punt returner. So let me know what you guys think about Bradley Roby, signing with the Eagles, what it means. Does he start? Does he not start? Is he purely depth? Or does Josh Jobe only have a certain amount of time left before the Eagles pull the trigger and, Bradley Roby's going to be the starter? So you guys let me know. Thank you for watching today. This was a video I didn't expect I was going to make today, but hey, why not, right? So you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Chicks it up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.